Due to the obscene and ridiculous nature of this podcast, listener discretion is strongly advised.
Introducing a new way to snack. Vital Elements is engorged to present Songbird Sliders. These easy-to-prepare luncheon sandwiches come individually wrapped and flash frozen, so all you need to do is throw them as hard as you can into the microwave oven and then warmthen them for 90 seconds in order to enjoy a greasy, nutritious lunch. The new Vital Elements Songbird Sliders are made from real songbird meat with exciting flavors such as Nacho Nightingale, Spicy Sparrow, Bubblegum Blue Jay, and my personal favorite, Sticky Swallow. To be honest with you, I've only ever tried the Sticky Swallow flavored Songbird Sliders because they're so good. I can't bring myself to try any of the other ones. I eat 40 or sometimes 50 of them a day, and the name is not an exaggeration. They are incredibly sticky and extremely fun to swallow. If you're a big fan of swallowing huge loads of sticky stuff like I am, you're gonna love the new Vital Elements Songbird Sliders. Find them in the frozen food section of your local grocery mart. They're probably next to Hot Pockets and chicken pot pies and stuff. I don't know. I probably shouldn't be talking about other products when I'm reading an ad for Songbird Sliders. I don't want to get in trouble. I guess I'll stop talking now. I'm sorry. Please don't get me in trouble with the new Vital Elements Songbird Sliders advertising team.
Secret Society of Fly Tires. Wow.
Secret Society of Fly Tigers? What in the fuck is that?
I'm sick of this phony baloney.
The Secret Society of Fly Tires, the Secret Society of Fly Tires podcast, the best podcast about fly tying.
Well, the last episode of Secret Society of Fly Tires with McLean from Pelagos Fly Rods was a roller coaster. I spent the majority of the monologue ranting about locking up all orcas in prison for life and ended it with an emotional dog story. That's how my brain works, okay? Or is it proof that my brain is broken?
Is there something wrong with your brain?
I don't know where this episode is going yet, but I've got a great guest. It's my new friend Ken Myers, a talented fly tyer and spay caster out near the greater Chicago area. I first came across him in the live chat during an episode of Charlie and Jim's Thursday Night Flies, where he had been sending in great submissions for their weekly challenges. We both started nerding out about tying our way through Jonathan Farmer's Chasing Chrome book, and it became obvious that our noses were pointing in the same direction. Anyways, Ken ended up as a guest on their show, and now he's a guest on my show. The topic we chose was Lake Michigan and its surrounding tributaries, and it's a part of the map that I haven't touched on yet, which is kind of surprising because I've had a few requests from listeners over the years to do an episode on the general area. And it's a polarizing topic among steelheaders. I like to think that I'm in the group called steelheaders, so why did it take me over 40 shows to get this episode on the books? I don't know, but I finally did it, and I'll tell you right now, don't expect any harsh opinions on the steelhead subject, or either of us taking sides in the great debate. My takeaway from the interview is that we agree that finding a steelhead or a lake-run rainbow trout or whatever you want to call them on the fly is cool and fun.
Today's question is, are you the type of person that likes to joke around and have fun?
Yeah, everyone likes fun.
You like to have fun too?
I mean, you're asking about me? I mean, I like fun, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
It might be slightly cooler to find a wild steelhead on a coastal river straight from the salt, but neither of us are out to shame anyone for their opinion on it or argue in the comments sections of social media posts on steelhead photos. I'd bet that there are at least a few people out there listening to me ramble right now that do have an opinion on it though. Why don't you tell me why you're right about things in the comments section on the Instagram post for the trailer of this episode? I fucking dare you.
I triple dog dare you!
I am not actually daring you. That was just my weak and cheap attempt to stir up some action on social media. Wait, that's not what I do. I just post stupid videos to promote these episodes. I just told you that I won't be shaming anyone about their opinions. I save that for people who say they like The Cure or Sublime. And how could a man who sleeps with a CPAP mask shame anyone anyway? It is I who takes the shame. I'm half joking, because it seems like lots of people are turning to these contraptions these days. What have we done to evolve into such helpless blobs that can't even go to sleep right without our bodies trying to die while doing so? We're developing new neck problems from the way we look at our phones all day. Our eyes are all shitty because of the same constant screen use. We're too lazy to even drive through a fast food restaurant and end up paying twice as much to have the trash food delivered. Most of the food we eat in general is killing us slowly in a bunch of different ways.
Shredded newspapers add much needed roughage and essential inks. Besides, you didn't notice the old gym mats.
There's very little meat in these gym mats.
We're on all kinds of pills to help us endure endless anxiety and crippling depression, along with a trillion other common issues, plus whatever vices we lean on and add to that mix.
Smoking, snorting, shooting, sucking, toking, popping, dropping.
But I will tell you that out of all the things that I've tried to help me squash my own anxiety and depression, getting actual sleep has been a big help. This isn't a long paid promotion either. Are you kidding me? Do you think anyone is offering to sponsor this absurd podcast that's already aired like 20 commercials for cum-related fake products in just this new season of the show? The answer is no, in case you were wondering. And unless I got some dream sponsor that let me do whatever I wanted, I kind of feel like a sponsor would actually ruin what I have going on here. Anyways, I'm just sharing something that has worked for me. It hasn't cured me of my many physical and mental ailments, but it's made a dent. Yeah, my wife goes to sleep next to Bane from the Batman movie, but I'm probably a little easier to live with. I wish she would just pretend I'm a fighter pilot. That sounds way cooler and sexier, right? Or I wish she at least had a Bane fetish.
Speak of the devil, and it shall appear.
It really takes some effort and endurance to get used to using a CPAP mask, by the way. You would think it would be easy, because it's meant to allow you to not die in your sleep. My soul was trying to pull the ripcord out of my earthly vessel for many years without me even knowing it. It was subconsciously screaming at me to leave this realm it currently exists in while I was in a dream state. I still tear it off in the middle of the night sometimes, but most nights I sleep soundly. So soundly that my smoke alarm could be blaring at me and I don't even notice. There are some air whooshing sounds that happen when you wear one of these things, and it kind of works as a white noise type situation, which can be great. Smoke alarms only alert us of low batteries in the middle of the night anyway. It's never during the day when it can be addressed with a sound mind. They only beep at like 3 a.m. and you find yourself with one foot on the bed and one against the wall, stretching up to the ceiling to try and figure out how to remove it and disable it before your whole house wakes up, while narrowly avoiding serious injury and getting so frustrated you contemplate just sleeping in the car in the garage. I believe this to be 100% true, by the way, so if you have ever experienced your smoke alarm alerting you of a low battery at a normal hour, send me a video of it blaring and you calmly changing the battery out without any issue. I'll trade you a sticker or send you a fly or something. That is the kind of social engagement that I try to spur without any sarcasm. I don't really want to hear your steelhead arguments. I want to see you replacing your smoke alarm battery at 1 p.m. I know this won't happen, but I'll be glad to be proven wrong.
Do you consider yourself humorous?
I used to. There was a time when I found myself funny. But today, you have proven me wrong.
Another thing that's helping me get over the hump with my anxiety and depression is working out. I have a couple friends who are kind of gym rats, and they kept putting on the pressure to get me to join them in pumping iron for so long that I finally gave in.
When I looked in the mirror, I was standing there in front of the mirror, totally naked. And there was one particular part of my body that was bigger than the rest of it. So I'm a man of perfection.
Yeah.
And so I said to myself, I got to bring the rest of the body up to the standard of this one part. And so that's when I started exercising.
But I'm only focusing on the muscles in my dick and my balls, both typically neglected by muscle men who choose to focus on the parts of their body that people can see without being completely nude. I've been forced to get creative too, because standard gym equipment isn't really designed to beef up those important and often neglected muscles. Before I even go to the gym, my pre-workout is mostly me drinking really heavy liquids because, as we all know, urine is stored in the penile meat, and that added weight will naturally strengthen and lengthen your penis muscles if you stick to the routine. On my way to the gym, I stop at a nearby guard dog training facility and pay them to have their hounds bite my groin, which helps develop strong, reliable scar tissue. Once I get through that and actually get into the gym, the first thing I do is get a boner and jump off one of those elevated platforms you see people using for various legitimate workouts. And I land on my stomach without using my hands or anything to soften the impact. With enough reps, you will land and your body just falls off to one side and your boner stays strong and straight. The next thing requires a partner, or two actually, so hopefully you go to a gym with people that you trust. My partner and I will tie a rope between our penises and then swing it around so a third person can use it to jump rope. This has to be repeated for hours and takes some endurance, but the results will be worth it, I promise. Once a week, I dip my junk into boiling water and then into an ice bath over and over. This is really uncomfortable, so I don't recommend doing it any more often than once a week. It's obvious why this one would help though if you think about it. Have you had enough?
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Good, because the next part of my monologue is sticking to the same basic theme. After all that genital exercise, my junk is bound to look pretty weird. I mean, good? It made me look up which animals have the weirdest looking genitals so I wouldn't feel alone.
I am alone.
I talked a little bit about orcas and their huge dicks in the last episode, and they might make the list of weirdest animal genitals I'm about to share with you just out of sheer size. But my internet searches quickly led me to an article on SmithsonianMag.com. That is not a joke. The article is titled 9 of the Weirdest Penises in the Animal Kingdom. I'll link to it in the show notes, you pervs. Yes, the same Smithsonian that has covered up all the historical evidence of giants, Egyptian artifacts in the Grand Canyon, and many other things, and for some reason, they chose to weigh in on this very important topic. Media sources like the one that you're listening to right now are supposed to cover that kind of stuff, not the Smithsonian, but I'm glad they did because I learned a few things that I'll share with you lucky listeners. I just said to myself out loud, what am I doing while typing this? But I'm pushing on. Quick, turn down your audio before someone around you hears any of this.
The penises of the animal world are so strange and varied, they almost make the human penis look boring.
Okay, allow me to read the intro to the article on SmithsonianMag.com, written by daily correspondent Corinne Wetzel. Heir to the Wetzel's Pretzels fortune, by the way. Birds have them. Bees have them. Even regular old fleas have them. But in the animal kingdom, no penis is exactly like the next. Across vastly different species and ecosystems, unique environmental pressures have allowed creatures of many species to evolve an array of shapes and sizes, from the electric blue penis of the leopard slug to Jeffrey Epstein's alleged egg-shaped penis.
Is it true, sir, that you have what's been described as an egg-shaped penis?
Okay, I added that part. That wasn't from the original author. To the blue whale's 10-foot phallus. Shit, no spoilers. Come on, Smithsonian. The more scientists learn about penises, the more they realize how varied sex organs are. Just ask Emily Willingham, a biologist and journalist who's been studying penises for over a decade. Everyone's dream job. Her book, Fallacy: Life Lessons from the Animal Penis, is available now. I urge you all to buy a copy. I'll probably link to it in the show notes. You pervs. Fallacy plunges readers into the wild and wacky world of animal genitalia while exploring the social and cultural significance of penises as symbols of power and identity. Penises have been a long-standing subject of scientific fascination, and they're far more studied than vaginas. I will be doing my own research and will not be leaving animal vaginas out of this segment. But we're starting with the penises. First on the list, the echidna. This hedgehog porcupine type thing is one of the rare egg-laying mammals and doesn't stop being weird there. Well, not weird. Again, I'm not here to shame anyone. It's actually pretty cool. They have nature's only 4-headed penis. Look it up. During intercourse, the echidna penis operates on a part-time schedule. Half of the penis shuts down while the other 2 heads get to work. He has them working in shifts, basically. The next echidna lady he gets down with will get the 2 that weren't used in the previous session. Next up are dolphins, who love to try and have sex with humans, by the way. I might have rambled about this topic before, I can't remember. So I'll let you go down that Google rabbit hole yourself if you are so inclined to learn more about alleged sexual relations between humans and dolphins. Is that the reason why it's illegal for us to communicate with them? Because they're so horny?
They have sexual urges.
Peter liked to be with me. He would rub himself on my knee or my foot or my hand or whatever, and I allowed that. I wasn't uncomfortable with that, as long as it wasn't too rough.
And Margaret felt the best way of focusing his mind back on the lessons was to relieve his desires herself, manually.
It was just easier to incorporate that and let it happen. It was very precious, it was very gentle. Peter was right there, he knew that I was right there. Again, it was sexual on his part, it was not sexual on mine. Sensuous, perhaps.
Anyways, I'm going to quote the article again because it says, "Dolphins are known for their intelligence, promiscuity, and absurdly dexterous penises." I've never heard a penis described that way. They have a prehensile penis, meaning it can swivel, grab, and grope, much like a human hand. Prehensile penis helps males navigate the complex, labyrinth-like reproductive tracts of female dolphins. So female dolphins probably make the weird animal vagina list too. That's cool. A match made in weird genital heaven. Dolphins don't just use their penises for baby making either. Bottlenose dolphins frequently copulate for pleasure and often with members of the same sex. I told you, they're very horny. Dolphin sex doesn't last long, only about 10 seconds, but males can ejaculate multiple times an hour and their loads are unmatched in volume. Okay, I made that last part up, but it could be true. This article doesn't really get into detail about the differences in animal cum, or milt, unfortunately. Continuing down the list, we get to the flatworm. A flatworm's penis is used for more than just sexual intercourse. They fight each other with them. Like many organisms with intriguing phalluses, flatworms that engage in penis fights are hermaphrodites. Just one example that showcases how a sex binary system fails to account for the range, fluidity, and diversity of many organisms. Some species of flatworm engage in this duel to see who can inseminate the other. That's how they know who won the penis fight. Their two-headed penises resemble tiny swords, and battles can last for up to an hour as they take turns attempting to stab the other. The winner pierces the flesh of the other flatworm to deposit their sperm, something scientists refer to as traumatic insemination. Traumatic Insemination is playing at the historic Crest Theater here in Sacramento this weekend, by the way. It's a matinee show, and tickets are still available for $35 plus service fees. It's also BYOB. Please excuse this brief interruption from one of our many sponsors.
Picture this, you're wet. You're sopping wet and you like it because you're neck deep in a river trying to catch yourself a big ol' slimy boy. You've been whipping out snake rolls like nobody's business all morning. It's a beautiful day. You're rock hard even after relieving your built-up manhood into the fresh, cool water multiple times in the last hour. That's how good of a day it is. And then, bam, a fish bites. It gulps the fly you tied with your own two hands, and it's running like a hog for the slop trough on Christmas morning. Sue-wee. It's peeling line and you're harder than ever. You're a little too hard. It hurts. But you can't focus on that right now because you've got a fish on the end of your line. You've got to get that baby in. You fight it gently. You tease it. You coax it. You know this fish is wet. This might be the wettest fish you've ever seen. You finally get it close enough to get a good look, and it's an incredibly thick, uncut pike minnow. Just what you were hoping for. You crave that juicy, sour meat. You love how soft it is. You and your friends call it the porridge fish because the meat is little more than goo by the time you cook it. You're out of breath. You've ejaculated into your waders yet again. The fish is in your net and you're hungry. What are you going to do? You're going to cook that soaked fish right there with the new Vital Elements Streamside Oven Kit. Vital Elements has concocted a one-of-a-kind angler's oven that folds down so it's easy to carry in your underwear or bra. Simply catch yourself a fish, drag it to shore, beat it to death, and then throw the entire thing, guts and teeth and all, into the Vital Elements Streamside Oven Kit. It doesn't need to be plugged in. It comes with a dangerously powerful battery that you can recharge at home or at church. So yeah, Just throw the fish in the oven smeared with your favorite grease and seasonings, and in just 15 minutes you'll have yourself a succulent pike minnow feast fit for a king. It'll taste so good that you'll be rock hard by the time you finish eating the guts, even though you just milked your wand a few minutes ago. Trust me.
Alright, the list is getting into the largest penis in the animal kingdom now, which is obviously me after all the working out I've been doing, but they don't count me on this list. It's the blue whale. The biggest mammal on the planet has the biggest penis. Surprise! It's fucking 8 to 10 feet long though, so it definitely deserves a mention. Again, going back to animal vaginas, does this mean that female blue whales have the biggest animal vagina? Why am I writing this? Why are you listening to this? I am not apologizing though, you motherfuckers. You signed up for this and you're still listening right now, so just sit back and continue learning, okay? I'm enjoying it. Each of a blue whale's testicles weigh up to 150 pounds and can ejaculate gallons of cum. Or would that be milk? I don't want to have to correct my terminology on this subject again. It's definitely more than dolphins though, no matter how many times a dolphin comes every hour. Whale penises are so famously oversized that in the book Moby Dick,
Mr. Dick, if you're nasty!
Herman Melville suggests using the skin of a sperm whale's penis as a floor-length apron to stay tidy while skinning the rest of the whale.
Rise now, ye white whale. Show us your crooked jaw. Show us your wrinkled brow.
Sticking with ocean-dwelling creatures, the next weird animal genital on mine and the Smithsonian's list is the gooseneck barnacle, who happen to sport the world's biggest penis-to-body size ratio. Their penises stretch out to nearly 8 times the total length of their bodies. Their dicks need to be super long because they're kind of stuck in one place, so they send that weird thing out to hunt down whatever barnacle vagina is within 8 body lengths away from them on the rock or pier or whatever they're stuck to. Here's a fun barnacle penis fact. Scientists have found that barnacle penis features change based on where they live. Those in rougher waters have shorter, stouter penises, while those in calmer areas have long, slender penises. That's the first time the words slender penises have been used on a fly fishing podcast, by the way. I continue to be a pioneer. Staying on the subject of smaller animals with interesting genitals, we'll move on to the bedbug. No one likes a bedbug, and come to find out, they are famous for their aggressive, stabbing sex. Sometimes overzealous males kill females with their saber-like penis in the process. Do we need another reason not to like them? This Smithsonian article goes on to explain that this violent process has caused bedbugs to evolve, quote, custom false holes that are very vagina-like where they tend to get stabbed. That is some serious and pretty specific evolution. This special, less armored area of their abdomen might minimize harm as the male injects his sperm into the female's circulatory system. Yeesh. One more small sea creature makes the list, and I'm going to read this passage verbatim from the Smithsonian website just because their own terminology made me laugh. Meet Chromodorus reticulata, a type of sea slug that has to reckon with a scary reality. Sex means saying goodbye to their penis, at least for the day. Chromodorus reticulata are hermaphrodites and fertilize each other simultaneously during sex. Each has a 3 centimeter long schlong, and they only extend a centimeter of their penis when copulating. After sex, they shed their single-use penis into the ocean's abyss. But this loss doesn't mean their sex life is over. They have at least 2 more disposable penis segments hidden away. As soon as 24 hours later, the slug will be back in action. They close out their list with another slug, strangely enough, the leopard slug. Mating leopard slugs dangle from branches by a shared rope of their own slime with their penises hanging below. As hermaphrodites, these slugs inseminate each other during sex, so once the action starts, 2 penises are on display, and their penises are easily spotted. They're electric blue and roughly the size of the slugs themselves, just like me. The act is a messy tangle, but nothing goes to waste. Once copulation is complete, one partner slurps down the slimy sex rope as a post-coitus snack.
Oh, God, it's so good.
Jesus Christ. Some honorable mentions to put a bow on this pornographic rant. Ducks have corkscrew spiral penises. Cats have spike-covered penises. and sharks have sort of a smooth double penis.
Sex organs are weird looking, but they're also crazy cool.
And you know what? That's enough. I'll save the weird animal vaginas for another episode, so stay tuned. How's that for a teaser? I told you the season would be very horny, and I'm delivering.
Really quickly, I've just been informed that we're legally obligated to inform the audience that the host of the Secret Society of Fly Tires, Malibu DuckTales III, does not have any fetishistic, erotic, adult, or X-rated interest in the genital composition of bugs, insects, animals, crawfish, or other beasts of the land, air, and sea. There is one exception to this, and that is that he is attracted to worm genitals. More specifically, he is attracted to this worm's genitals. That's right, he thinks mine looks pretty cool. I don't think he's sexually attracted to my worm rod. I think he just appreciates it as a lover of beautiful things. The way he compliments my floppy appendage is like he's admiring a particularly attractive sunset or waterfall. He likes it because he likes the wonders of nature. That's all. You can't send him to jail for that. It wouldn't be fair.
Before I get to my interview with Ken Myers, I'll share a couple quick stories I found online about some non-sexual weirdness out of Wisconsin, a state that shares a big chunk of shoreline on Lake Michigan, which is supposedly the focus of this episode. I got lost in weird animal genitals for a few minutes this monologue, okay? And I'm not sorry about it. I think we all learned a lot today. Another podcast already did an episode on this story, so I'll keep things fairly brief and point you all over to the Wisconsin Legends podcast if you want to get the full rundown. Link in the show notes, of course. But apparently there's a place called Haunchyville near Muskego, Wisconsin, which is just about 20 minutes outside of Milwaukee, and near the end of a road out there called Mystic Drive is supposed to be a barn where a farmer hung himself. When his body was found, there were said to have been many childlike footprints all around it, along with a message scrawled in the farmer's blood that read, "The Haunchies made me do it." If you go down to the end of Mystic Drive, you can still see the barn, and sometimes people report seeing the phantom of a hanging body at night. And as you go down the road, you'll see houses with small doorways, and the stop signs are at a much smaller height. This story sort of picked up steam in the 1950s, and it was said back then that the town was a, quote, colony of little people. Some of the claims people made were that the town was full of former circus sideshow dwarves with murderous tendencies, the tiny residents would attack you with burning torches, and they would saw off your legs at the knees to make you equal to their height. They had a full-size protector, said to be an albino, that would fire warning shots with a shotgun to scare non-residents away. And is this story more absurd than my pages-long ramblings about weird animal genitals? I think it might be. That's basically it, though. An urban legend about supposed murderous little people that somehow made a farmer hang himself, just out of revenge for him being of a more standard height. And as I continue reading about this urban legend, it sounds like it might have been a unique way to try and keep anyone and everyone out of the Mystic Drive area. The websites where I'm reading about this story briefly mention who really resides at the end of Mystic Drive, which is an actual real road in Muskego, and according to real estate websites, it's full of million-dollar homes with roomy multi-level floor plans, massive garages, chef kitchens, large lots, and finely manicured lawns. So, the rich folks made up a seemingly hateful story and blamed a marginalized group to try and keep people out of their little neighborhood. That's how I see it. Don't trust rich people. That's the moral of this story. Let's move on to a local cryptid, because those are just good old-fashioned fun every time. I read about this one on someone named J.A. Hernandez's personal website, and it comes out of Rhinelander, Wisconsin, which is a few hours away from Lake Michigan. But maybe one of its tributaries runs through there, so it probably ties into the focus of this episode. Get off my back, okay? I'm going to tell you about it whether there's any connection or not.
In the Rhinelander area, you'll find the perfect blend of pristine wilderness and big city amenities, and you might even find a hodag.
We've been cross-country skiing on the Washburn Lake trails outside of Rhinelander when all of a sudden, something big crossed the trail. It's not unusual to see animals around here, but this was completely different. It was green. I think it was a hodag.
This creature is called the hodag. which is dangerously close to the name of a delicious burger joint in San Diego. The hodag is said to be what is described as a cross between an ox and a goblin with bullhorns, and a row of thick spines run down its back like a dinosaur. A book from 1928 titled The Hodag and Other Tales of the Logging Camps said the origin of the beast was the, quote, embodiment of the abuse that oxen suffered from their masters. Born into physical form from cremated remains. Would that be a homunculus? Newspapers at the time report this creature to have the head of a frog, the grin of a giant elephant, whatever that means, thick short legs with huge claws, like my friend Steve, the back of a dinosaur, and a long tail with spears at the end of it. A man named Eugene Shepard claimed to have killed and captured the hodag in 1893, and captured another in 1896, this time alive. It's said that he recruited some bear wrestlers, and together they placed a chloroform-soaked rag on the end of a pole and stuck it into a cave where the beast lived. The drugged-up hodag then was put on display at the Oneida County Fair. It actually made the national news, and a great callback here caught the attention of the Smithsonian. Once scientists got a hold of Eugene and said they were coming out to investigate, he fessed up about his cryptid hoax. He admitted the live hodag that was shown in a photograph and went viral back then was just a wooden puppet that his sons helped him bring to life with the use of wires. He even claimed to keep the thing in his barn, and when people came to see it, Eugene would disappear for a few minutes, making a bunch of racket that was meant to sound like he was wrangling the hodag, and returned with his clothes in tatters. He'd then tell the folks who showed up that the beast wasn't viewable at this time because he was too angry. Eugene charged money for this too. It's claimed that he earned up to $500 in a weekend with fake hodag showings, which would be somewhere around $3,500 today. So, a confirmed hoax that cheated poor locals out of their hard-earned pay. Is it really full-on cheating though? These people got some entertainment out of their money. And reading more on the subject, the hoax may have been born out of more legitimate stories. There are pictographs found on a rock dated to be up to 400 years old of another creature that is called Mishipeshu, which translates from Ojibwe to English as Great Lynx. It's described as a, quote, underwater panther with the head and paws of a giant cat, but covered in scales with thick spikes running along its back and tail. Pretty close, I guess. You can see the pictograph at the National Museum of the American Indians in Washington, D.C., if you ever find yourself in that area. The hodag lore doesn't end there either. There's also a story from 1904 where American legend Paul Bunyan and his blue ox Babe encountered one. The town of Rhinelander has obviously embraced the lore as they installed a huge statue of the hodag in front of the town's Chamber of Commerce. There's even a hodag country festival that launched in 1978 and continues to be an annual tradition, as well as a handful of hodag songs and even a couple low-budget movies that feature the creature. See, that story was much more fun than the Haunchyville murderers. So let's end this monologue right there and get to my chat with Ken. I love that this show introduces me to new talented people so often, and they come from all walks of life. I might be talking to a scientist one day, then a politician the next, or a fishing guide, a musician, a well-known name in fly tying, a student, or a tin knocker. I want to talk to them all. There are so many tires out there with awesome skills that fly under the radar, or they just do it for fun, so there isn't really a reason to promote their craft like a business would. Ken kind of falls into that last category because, to my knowledge, he isn't selling patterns or anything like that. Ken has some serious skills though. Just give him a follow on Instagram and you'll see. He's tying sweet flies and swinging up all kinds of cool stuff on a spay rod, from carp to smallmouth to steelhead to catfish. I had a blast having a beer with him over Zoom, learning more about him and the greater Lake Michigan area. I hope you do the same. Here's our chat. Hey, check 1, 2. Hey. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Hey.
Oh, there I am.
There we go. What's up, Ken?
What's up, man? Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, dude. Thanks for getting me off work a couple minutes early.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, I was like, oh damn, we're 2 hours apart, you know?
Yeah.
So I start at like 5 in the morning. So I always, I just started back at work today, actually.
What do you do?
I'm a sheet metal worker.
Oh, right
Local
on.
73 out of Chicago. I do like industrial sheet metal. So I work at this corn plant. Basically, they like, yeah, Illinois. So I live in Illinois and I work at a
Okay.
corn plant, right? You
Right.
know, who'd have thought? So it's like they take all these farmers take corn there and then they send it throughout the plant and they break it apart.
Okay.
They pull ingredients out of it and then they make like pharmaceutical sugars and like just ingredients for a bunch of food,
Huh.
So
Random.
yeah, definitely random. So like I do just basically like food stuff, man. I work with
Cool.
all like next week I think I'm at like some marshmallow factory where
Oh,
they
yeah.
make all the marshmallows in the country or something. It's cool, a lot of welding and stuff like that.
Right on. My dad and my dad's dad were both sheet metal dudes.
Oh,
So
really?
it's in my
Okay.
blood, but I'm in the office. So
Okay, yeah, yeah.
I didn't go
I
down
always
that
say
route.
like like I got the hand skills, like tying flies and stuff
Yeah.
like that, I just like the sheet metal hand
Yeah.
skills.
Sometimes I wish I was, building something
Yeah,
instead of just emailing people all day. It's like
yeah.
there's no sense of accomplishment, but like at least
Stay warm though, right?
it affords me time to do this.
Yeah.
If I didn't have this job, I probably wouldn't have time to do this. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I like the GAR background
Oh, thank you
actually.
very much. I just did an interview with some folks about GAR. You have GAR?
Okay.
You have GAR where you're at?
Oh yeah, 50 inchers.
Fucking A, dude. I have
Huge.
nothing like it. I was joking with the dudes that I'm going to introduce my own brood stock of gar here on my river because I want to fish for them so bad.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
like they're a blast. I mean, so I live. You ever heard of Joliet?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
So I live right around Joliet, all
Okay.
right? And so there's no trout. I live zero trout where I live.
Right.
Like unless they're like stocked, or whatever. They stock the rivers, but then it's like combat fishing, and
Mhm.
that's not for me. But
Yeah.
so we have like gar,
Sweet.
carp, smallmouth, all
Nice.
sorts of rough fish, and like
Dude, I mean, I'm a total like cold weather angler for the most part, and so like I'm kind of missing out on a lot of different things. I need to go out to Texas over to see some buddies out there and go gar fishing. Sounds like a fucking blast.
oh
And,
yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah.
I've been knocking out a bunch of these interviews, and I haven't changed my background since the first one. So
I like it.
it's been gar for everybody.
That's what I look. I was like, huh. I was thinking, I'm like, is there gar out there? Because you're in Cali, right?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So I want to say they're native out by me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I learned that they're in a lot of different states when I was researching it for this interview, and I was kind of surprised how far the reach was, but
Oh yeah.
nowhere near me.
Yeah. I think they don't really make it too far out west. I
Mhm.
think it's kind of I've never really like looked into it though. I thought it was more of like a central to southern kind of America kind of fish, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they're a lot of fun, man. They fight like hell, but they're weird to hook.
Yeah.
You gotta like
Yeah.
either like use rope flies.
We gotta lasso them in too.
Yeah,
Kinda.
rope flies or
Yeah.
like, a pair of like some like woman's lace underpants or
It's
something. I think would
definitely
work.
weird stuff, dude.
Yeah.
I gotta do it. Well, hey, dude, let me crack this beer,
All right, yeah, go for it.
and we will dig into this.
I am on these kind of things at the
Oh yeah,
moment.
me
Yeah,
too. Me too, man.
Oh yeah, right on. Cheers.
Oh man. So thanks for joining me on the program, dude. You came highly recommended by a listener named Chris.
Shout out to Chris.
Chris Jurich.
Yes, Chris is a great guy, good buddy of mine.
I'm stoked that he made the suggestion. It's getting harder and harder to book interviews for this show. Let me tell you, I've made my bed, and now I'm laying in it. Yeah, to get things. I keep getting weirder, and then I keep getting more. No thanks, but that's all good. I had a feeling I probably would have ended up stumbling onto your IG account anyway, since we both seem to be tuning in and tying stuff for Thursday Night Flies, and
yeah, man.
I've had like a Great Lakes kind of area episode on my list for a while now, so
yeah,
I'm stoked to check, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Yeah, you I don't think you really had anybody kind of sort of to my area,
Nope. No, I'm opening up another part of the map, which I like.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Midwest.
Yeah.
Unlock the Midwest.
Totally. So, since I already brought up the subject, Thursday Night Flies, let's keep talking on it. I love the challenges that Charlie and Jim throw out to all of us, and
Yep.
just the spirit of the show in general, and seeing all the stuff people tie and submit. How many versions of your submissions are you tying before you post them?
Just one.
Just it. I mean, it varies for me, man. Sometimes I tie a ton and never share them, and then sometimes I'll tie one and I'm feeling good about it, and I send it in and share it. But
I mean,
you know,
I would say just one. Yeah. I mean, I mean, there was a couple like the pile of eat a peach leeches I had. Like that's just like I tied a lot of those, but also like that was just like I have so many of those. That's my confidence fly, right?
yeah, we all have one. Yeah.
For the Great Lakes, swing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I'm not sure when this episode will come out, but this week's challenge is Marvel. And
yeah.
And I've never been into comics. I'm not a fucking nerd, okay? But there's a lot of cool color schemes to pick from. I started going after the classic Wolverine. I don't know if you can see this. I was tying up a leech.
Oh yeah.
And it did not enough yellow in there. I didn't dig it.
Yeah, some yellow would definitely pop it, probably.
Yeah, and so I tied up more like a kind of a classic intruder with more yellow and blue.
Yeah.
I haven't sent any of these in yet. I think I'm gonna keep trying, see what I can do better. But
yeah, I mean, same with me, man. Like, so I was never really into like the Marvel stuff either. I kind of like, I would say I kind of dropped off at like the X-Men Origins way back in the day or whatever, and then like I'm like, wait, they're making like 20 more movies of the same shit. So like I never watched it, but I've always been a fan of Mallrats and Clerks and stuff like that.
I liked yours.
Man and Chronic. I mean, I thought of it right away, so I came up with these are like pretty much like
some skater type things.
Yeah, so I kind of followed John Farmer's Chasing Chrome book for the Wake and Skate.
Yeah,
and
I haven't tried that one yet.
It's pretty much a Wake and Skate. Just like I had just like kind of a couple different materials, like and like different foam. But he said it looked good, so I'm sure
they do look good, man.
Yeah, man, that book is great too. But
it really is, man. I'm gonna have to ask you some questions about that book specifically.
Oh yeah,
there's a couple. I mean, I've been tying through it too. But let's back up a lot bit. Get some basics.
I like to add to it. Like I think it's fun, man. I definitely dig it.
I love it. It gets better every episode, man. They keep getting better guests and stuff too. They're like understanding the whole shtick, and
yeah,
it's great, dude.
I think it's fun. I think I like seeing what everyone comes out with some like I think 80s week was.
Yeah, that was probably the one that kind of the catalyst really started spreading around, I think.
Yeah, 80s week was hilarious.
That's
I was getting a kick out of it, man.
Yeah, that's rad.
So
we started talking before I was really ready about where are you located?
So I'm like right around like 45 minutes south of Chicago, hour south, about like around Joliet. Where they filmed the Blues Brothers.
Yeah. Does it make you a Cubs fan? White Sox?
No, I'm actually a Bills fan.
Okay,
I'm not really into baseball, but yeah. So I mean,
How'd you end up out there? Born and raised, or?
Yeah, born and raised, man. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. It's home.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of the fishing's cool. It's a lot of varieties.
Yeah.
When
did you start fly fishing?
So I started fly fishing, let's see, it's probably like 2017, but I always like gear fished prior to that, but like, so I'm kind of one of those people that just like, whenever they get into something, they just go like balls out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Like that's me. So like my buddy introduced me to it, and then I thought it was like the coolest thing, like I was like, holy shit. He was throwing like this big yellow drunken disorderly we were smallmouth fishing, like pretty sure he hammered one. And I was like, yeah, dude, like I'm going to do that. So I went out, bought a fly rod. It was over the winter, and I just like stood in my yard and like practiced casting. And then in the spring, man, I started chasing carp. Like that was
Went right into carp.
like that was my
Yeah.
second fly rod fish
Oh,
with
yeah?
a carp. Yeah.
Man, you bypassed all the gateway drugs. Went right in,
Right
dude.
in the carp. Oh,
Yeah.
then I chased carp, pretty much strictly chased carp for like 3 or 4 seasons.
Wow. Yeah.
Like, I was just like all into. I mean, they're great. They're
I saw
holding
you
close to my heart.
I saw you post a monster the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
That spot, man. It's a
an
cool one.
it's one I haven't really given a fair shot at yet. And there's some opportunities out here. I got to do it. I've had a friend that's offered to go take me out and go look for him, and we just haven't found the time yet. So it'll happen. Yeah.
You should. Oh yeah. You could even swing a two-hander for him in the rivers.
Yeah, it'd be rad, dude. I mean,
It's cool.
I've caught suckers and stuff on the two-handed rod swinging, but
Yeah.
yeah, nothing. I don't think we have carp in my local river in the Lower American. I could be wrong, but I don't. I've never seen them.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Big suckers though, man.
Yeah, we're crawling with carp. It's like the main. Well, I mean, like I would say our best fishing out by me is the carp. So like where I live, there's no like really like a Great Lake tributary that pushes any like migratory fish in.
Okay.
So like I mean I travel for that, So but like locally home, I mean we got some real cool like smorgasbord kind of fishing going on. Like everything from carp to like muskie, hooking them. Not many by me, but they're there.
That's cool.
So
did you jump right into tying like as soon as you started fly fishing too, or did that come later?
That came a little bit later, a few years later, probably. And then, like, of course, like I went and bought just like a vise at Bass Pro Shop, and like some, not like one of those starter kits, but like a Terra vise or something. Mm-hmm. Started tying carp flies, was my first, And then I went out the next day and I stuck a real nice fish. It was on like kind of here. I got one kind of here.
Some confidence right away.
Yeah, something like that right there. It's like a hybrid, this little hybrid, man. I mean, it was ugly looking, but it did the job,
Yeah.
And then, then I just like tied some bass flies and stuff and carp flies. And then I found steelhead flies and, swinging flies. And that was game over for me. And like the fly tying, like that's what my favorite flies to tie are definitely flies I go out and swing on the tribs. Yeah, definitely.
Man, really the only fly that I tie that isn't like a swing steelhead kind of fly are just Klausers, dude. That's like the only thing that I tie that like aren't that kind of thing, really.
Yeah, I fish a lot of like bad hair days. Here, I got one right here. The bad hair day.
I'm trying to get motivated. Oh, those are sweet, man. When you mentioned that, I think you mentioned it in the comments on or voted for it or something as a theme on Thursday Night Flies. I was looking it up and I've never tied one. I'm gonna do it though.
Did you watch the video of Dave Pinchowski?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Shout out! I'm gonna give Dave a shout out here, real quick.
The guy that does the carpet spider too, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Dave's the man. He introduced me to like the whole fishing a two-hander.
Oh, cool.
And like the first day I met him, I was like total noob, and he just kind of like really helped me out big time and definitely like changed the game for me. So Dave's one of the greats. Love that guy.
Right on, man. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, Dave, soul roller.
I'll have to get him on the show one of these days. You have to give me his contact.
He's pretty low key, but
yeah. Well, this show's kind of low key. I can do it.
I like it.
But that's cool, man. I agree. I feel like maybe even more so with two-handed rod, like having somebody that can kind of snap you into shape is like so key because like you can look at YouTube videos and stuff like that and then you start developing all these bad habits that like you may not even be really aware of because like you got to like videotape yourself and stuff and like look at it and like if you really want to improve and you can't really do that super easy by yourself on the river, right? And
it's like every craft, like every like like musicians, even like welding, like if you learn bad habits, it's hard to break those bad habits, So like kind of early on having someone kind of like, no, this is how you do it, like in person is really really helpful.
I wouldn't call him like my mentor, but Charlie from Axiomatic from Thursday Night Flies, I've only fished with him a couple times, and the last time we fished the Rogue, he was give me a lot of pointers. He's a
Yeah.
great caster, and he definitely sharpened me up a little bit.
Yeah, oh yeah, those guys seem really fun to fish with too. Him and Jim seem like a
Great,
good time.
great dudes. I haven't got to fish with Jim yet, but I'm gonna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never made my way out there yet, man.
Yeah.
Never. I haven't been west than Colorado.
There's so much awesome swing fishing in Oregon and Washington, man. Like,
Oh yeah,
gotta do it.
yeah. It's on the radar, and like the Thursday night flies. Like, I mean, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of other guys, like people I've met through it, you know,
Yeah,
and like
for sure. And
connected with.
our
And,
little
like,
our little crafting circle that's
yeah,
developing.
right. Yeah, the cool kids club. My wife calls it. She says it's farts and crafts.
Yeah, that's a good
what
way
she
to put it.
calls Yeah.
So do you guide or tie or tie?
No. I just like. Oh, I mean, it's like I like putting my buddies on fish.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
like, and I like tying fly. I love tying flies. So like,
You
if
don't
you fish with me, like you're gonna get a few flies. You know, like.
You don't tie commercially?
No, I've never sold a fly for any profit or anything like that. Yeah, I just do it for fun. Like, I kind of like I feel like if I were to do it like that, number one, like I don't have the time to just like crank out fly after fly after fly. I give those guys like everyone.
Yeah.
When I first started tying flies, I was like, "Oh, that's like the best job in the world," like that's what I thought. Like being a guide, the best job in the world. Like,
Sure.
no, it's hard. It's hard work.
Brutal, yeah.
And then there's days like your hands just don't do it. There's just your hands and your mind just aren't connected, and like I feel like forcing yourself to tie on days like that would just like ruin it for me.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to do it. It's like that'd be you're talking hours every day.
Mhm.
And I mean I like to try and tie at least a fly every day. Like I like try one or two.
Yeah, do it one or two a day.
Just to keeps my skills sharp and stuff, and trying to get better. But even then, there's days that go by that I don't. And like imagining doing that like a 6-hour, 8-hour haul, man, I don't know.
Spinning dubbing loops for 12 hours.
Yeah,
Now,
man.
if you had one of these, have you seen this thing? Sorry, I gotta just bring it up.
What do you got?
Right here. Have you seen this? The Spaco dubbing spinner?
I have, yes. In fact, it just came up on Thursday Night Flies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude,
they had Spaco dude on there, yeah.
Yeah, this thing is super fun.
Is it cool?
Yeah, man, it's a blast. You could spin like deer here in it, like no problem.
Huh.
I mean, it spins so fast that it just like it's trapped in there.
Nice.
I've tried doing it by hand, like with my normal spinner, and like it just does it too slow. Where like it'll start to turn, and then you'll get a spot and it'll slip.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Huh. I use the Portland Fly Shop one. Their dubbing spinner, which is your kind of standard.
Yeah, just like the weight with the hook on it or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I like those ones.
The hook's closed and it's heavy, so it works pretty good.
Well, my first dubbing spinner I made was like copper wire, like hook, and then I took like those like green gremlin or whatever gremlin egg sinking weights, like these heavy weights, and I shoved it up there and bent it, and I used that for a little bit.
Man, I want to like I've never sold any merchandise or anything for this show. Like it's just not, I don't know, it's just not my lane really. I make dumb content. That's what I do. I'm not thinking about selling t-shirts and shit really.
Yeah.
I'd way rather have like a fake store that I joke about. But the one thing that I really want to do, I want to make a dubbing spinner. I want to make like a little UFO and have it. I want to put fucking LEDs in it and shit like that.
Yeah.
And like have like 30 of them or something like that and sell them to listeners of the show.
I'd take one.
I don't know where to start, dude. Like there's like a metal fabrication place locally that I was gonna hit up, but I don't have like a CAD drawing or anything. I don't have anything to go off of yet. So like I don't know how cost effective it would actually be. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna get a yes or no out of it and see if I can do it. But
if you know a guy that can weld,
yeah,
or fabricate, I mean a buddy or whatever,
Yeah, man, I might be hitting you up offline here and chatting about fabrication. I don't know what to do yet, but it's an idea in the back of my head that I could swear to God that I saw one like on Instagram or something, like somebody spinning a loop up and it was a UFO and then it had lights on it. And I think I'm imagining things. I think I'm making shit up. But it would fit with the theme of this show and it would be a
Yeah,
cool little trinket.
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see what
that'd be
happens.
rad.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the first time I listened to your show, it was like on the that last like eclipse we had last spring or whatever.
Oh, the
And
eclipse. Yeah. Yeah.
you remember that? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And I was carp fishing,
Mm.
and I was like walking this pond. I'm like, I'm gonna catch a carp in the eclipse,
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And like, didn't make it happen. I got one like
Oh,
right
man.
after. I was so
Damn
pissed.
it.
I was like, ah,
That'd have been
but
rad.
it is what it is. So I was listening to actually the you and farmers
Yeah.
episode actually that day. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
know Chris. He's the one that told me to check your podcast out. And yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. Farmer is the man, dude. He's
He's
the
a good
king.
guy.
Yeah.
Actually, did you see that print I just got?
No. Did
So
you get
I
one?
got-
Did you get one of his prints?
Yes, and if anyone listening is interested in getting a print from him,
Yeah, how do you even do it? Because I saw him post them and I didn't see them in his shop and I didn't bother texting him or anything about it.
I would actually just like message him. He's pretty good on getting back to
Oh yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
quick,
was
but, like,
I was texting with him last night trying to get him to hold some of this fin raccoon he had on his site because I was out walking my dog and he posted some cool shit and yeah, he held
he's
one
got
for me, so.
he's got good stuff. So I
Yeah.
got the metal print actually, and like this thing
Oh man, that is so tight.
it is slick, man.
Is
Like
is that a not
shiny.
sure? It's a not sure on there too, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So actually, like when he told me about him, I was like, yeah, man, like I will 100% take one of those because
Yeah.
like, I mean that fly, like when he did his contest, out of the book, like
Yeah.
I won it, and then
You did? I didn't know that. Because
Yeah,
I saw you post.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was the winner of the advanced bracket
So are you in his subscriber feed too, like me?
on like Instagram or
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Yeah. And then also, I guess I was like one of the first ones that I think maybe the first one to tie a fly out of the book and go catch a
shit.
fish on it.
Oh,
So
hell
like,
yeah.
and it was on the not sure. So I was like, all right, like actually it's on this one.
Man, and so you got the print too. That's
So I had to
awesome.
get the print,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, and then the print is just like a funny story. So like he shipped it and then it made its way all the way from Alaska to Indianapolis, okay? And like 4 or 5 days. It was relatively quick, I'm like, oh sweet, and like I redid my fly tying room, like painted and all this stuff. Like so I'm getting some art I gotta put up or whatever, redoing it. So it's stuck in Indianapolis for a month.
Yeah.
And like I was like, what is going on with this package? And then I see on YouTube, actually it was when Farmer was out on the Skagit because I sent him the video. But it was like this whole news thing on Indianapolis's USPS facility.
Oh no.
And it was just piles of boxes and they're getting thrown around. And I'm like, my print is in one of those boxes.
Fucking bent in half. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it showed up nice and primed.
Good.
So, I can't really complain.
I love that pattern, dude. I haven't caught a fish on that yet. I feel like, and I can't remember if I had mentioned this in a previous episode, a previous interview for this new season. So, pardon me if I'm repeating myself, folks. But I have kind of realized after some time that I've been using the kind of the wrong bugs for my home river, like for a long time. Like I like fishing kind of bigger winter steelhead kind of stuff and a lot of farmer patterns and stuff. And the fish here like some smaller natural shit, and it's not what I usually fish. And so I've been trying, but no luck on that yet.
Yeah, well, you gotta like what you fish, right? I mean, you gotta feel good when you're fishing it too.
Yeah, it's kind of funny and maybe ridiculous even how much the aesthetic of a fly matters to the tire and how much that plays into whether or not the fly will ever get fished, right?
Yeah.
And we
Yeah, I have a whole graveyard of flies that
Yeah.
I'll usually give those to like my buddies that are like I'm taking out for the first time or whatever, like the B box. I call it the B box, like if you're good, you get something out of the A box, something with some jungle cock on it or something. But You're just starting. You're going B-box.
I'm trying to get my little brother, one of my brothers. I have three. I'm trying to get one of them into
Oh,
fishing.
same here.
None of them want to fish. They don't want to do it. But I'm working on one of them, and it would be a great recipient of all these flies that I don't end up using. But
Yeah.
I mean, we could tie sometimes and we're super pattern we're super comfortable with, and it's just like one little thing wrong with it, and then it might sit in your box forever, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So with the not sure, like I actually have caught a solid amount of fish on it from Wisconsin to New York this year.
Oh hell yeah, man!
Yeah, it's been a freaking, now it's a staple in the box, and the backdoor slider as well.
Do you make your own shrimp eyes for that one, or do you buy them? What do you do?
I haven't yet, but I'm going to start making them. I've watched a few videos, and I bought like the first. I've done like 3 bags worth of eyes, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
3, whatever, like what eyes are they? I'm pretty sure they're all pretty standard though. There's like
I didn't
5
have
sets of eyes or whatever in each pack.
Oh yeah, I didn't have any, and I wanted to tie that pattern and do it full on, right? And so I looked up how to make some, and I made a few sets, and I felt like they were a little like top heavy, because you use like the method that I was doing was you put like a bead basically on the end of some thick mono, right? And then you're dipping it in like some resin.
Yeah.
And then kind of letting it ball up and then hitting it with the light, right? And it kind of, depending on what color little bead you use on the end, you get like a different color eye and stuff. And it's adding, I wouldn't say significant weight, but they're kind of drooping off the end, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm not doing it right. Maybe I went a little heavy on it. It's my first time. We'll see.
Yeah, you can mess around with it, right?
Yeah.
That fly's awesome though. It's cast great. Freaking, I actually got a really nice steelhead or whatever. Sorry, West Coast guys. I'm calling a Great Lakes fish a steelhead here.
We're going to talk about that stuff.
Okay. So I got a really nice fish on it this year. Like, first day fishing it, I was like, I'm going to fish this pink backdoor slider, and like, went up to the head of the run, man, and just like, actually, there's like 3 swings into the run, and like these guys, center pin guys, were kind of like downstream. They're like, "Oh, did you get one yet?" And I was just like fishing all day without a fish. And I was kind of, just like, I was like, no, and nothing. As soon as I said that, fish on. I'm like backflipping and shit. I'm like, oh, there we go. So that was pretty sweet.
Well, since we're on the subject, I know, and we've been talking about Farmer's Book a bunch, and I know we're both kind of tying our way through it. Like, what are some other favorite patterns of yours out of that you've been tying?
So I've done the Zep prawn.
Man, that is the one that is like the most intimidating for me out of the whole book, dude. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the amount of materials or whatever on there.
Guarantee you're probably just a little like, because it's a pretty relatively simple fly, as in like how it's tied. It's a lot of materials, and you got to get that like golden pheasant looking, right? So I like actually dyed the tippets, these right here. So that's like the shell on the back or the eyes or whatever they're supposed to be. So I actually dyed those with orange Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah.
And it turned out like, I could send you pictures later, but like you can see that feather with the bars on there. So that was dyed with orange Kool-Aid, and these weren't. So like it took it pretty well. Orange Kool-Aid. So I've done the Zep prawn. I really haven't fished it though, but I think it'll be a killer smallmouth pattern, to be honest, by my house.
Hey, so, hang on just one second, dude. My laptop is saying it's gonna die.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
Back in business. There we go.
Right on. Yeah, so I did the Zep prawn, the fire starter. Fire starter is a really cool one, man. So
that one is that the one that has the golden pheasant tippet kind of hackled in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right there.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is a sweet one. So
Yeah, it's tight.
my buddy, it's cool because I've been tying all these new flies out of the book, and I've been fishing with people. I just been like, here, try this one out, because like Great Lakes, people always like, oh, colors and stuff. Like,
That's right.
I'm like, they probably all eat pink, right? So like, here, try. But so I gave a fire starter to my buddy, but it was like a chartreuse in black, and
that's cool.
his name is Josh. He's a really cool guy. He swung up his first like steelhead on that day with the fire starter.
Hell
and
yeah,
I was like, and he got when he unhooked the fish, I was like, you're gonna want to keep that. Like that was your first steelhead on the swing. Like pretty sure it was the guy's first steelhead ever caught too. So that was like
awesome.
me. I caught my first steelhead ever on the swing as well. I've never really like nymphed or anything for him. I'm just pretty like into the swing, right? Like
I caught most of my steelhead probably not on the swing.
Well, that's how it. Yeah,
but,
I mean,
but
that's
I
how
don't.
It goes.
I don't really fish for them any other way now.
Yeah.
So
I like the method.
Yeah, me too.
And so then I've tied like the wake and skate, a few other ones too.
Do you fish skater flies out there?
No, I mean for bass.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they work just like a gurgler or something for bass, huh? Yeah.
We have like the Scamanias, if you've heard of those. I don't know, it's like I think it's like a man-made. Like I'm not a biologist, I'm a sheet metal worker, right? Like I'm just, if it grabs a swung fly, like it could be whatever. But
I love it. I had literally the last interview I had was a biologist, so I'm
okay,
hitting all angles here, man.
Yeah, right, yeah. So I mean, I just know as much as I've been told on stuff, but I'm pretty sure like the Scamanias are like two strains of fish kind of bred together, and then
kind of
like
hybrid. Yeah,
it's just like a Great Lakes thing because I don't think like they're out.
I don't know what those are. I've never heard that.
Yeah, they're just like a summer run steelhead for us.
All right.
But then the problem with our rivers, like I don't know, they really shouldn't be around because like they're so hot. Like the one river I fish that runs with them is like gets 80 degrees in the summer. It's way too like you'll just see dead Scamanias floating down the river. I've heard. It's kind of, but it's a put and take fishery, right? I mean, that's what we're allowed to keep 5 a day. I'm pretty sure out here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a blood sport sometimes. I don't keep them just personally just because I don't want to, and also like the rivers I fish are, like I don't know if one of those fish got like whatever, like there's like syringes and shit floating down the river. Like you don't want it's all the rivers I fish are all like fluid, like all the town drains into it, right?
Metro rivers, man. That's what I fish on too, man. And they say you to what's the warning on the American River? It's something like they encourage you to eat one or less fish from the river each per year, and not to eat them if you're pregnant, right? There's like a big sign on one of the spots, right?
Same out here. One spot I was just fishing at has a sign that says like, don't go in the river after a big rain because of sewage.
Oh, geez Louise, yeah.
Sewage runoff or whatever.
There's been similar E. coli problems and stuff on the lower, not the part that I fish, but closer to when it meets up with the bigger Sacramento River downtown in the downtown Sacramento area, there were some issues. I'm pretty sure related to like a concentration of homeless camps in one certain spot, but. It's kind of the nature of fishing in a metro river, right? Like you're flowing through town, right? And not everybody gives a shit about the resource. So,
It's out by me. So when my carp spots, in the spring, I'll send you some pictures and stuff, but it's like, it's the concrete jungle.
Yeah.
So like I'm in between two like 20-foot concrete walls.
I saw you casting on your page on a spot that looked very familiar. I mean, that's kind of a lot of where I fish too, man.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's, you never know what you're going to see over there. Like, one time a pancake was just like someone just made a pancake and like frisbeed it out their window into the creek, and it was just floating down the creek, man. I'm like, whoa, 40 ounces floating down, whatever,
I walked out to fish this one run with a buddy one time. When we got to the water, there was a pile of duster cans, like computer duster, like somebody was having a
good time out there, right? Dusted.
So we're starting to get into you're leading me into these questions beautifully today here, Ken. We want to talk about the Lake Michigan and tributaries that you fish, right? So how do you approach such a large body of water like Lake Michigan with a fly rod? You know?
Well, like, I don't really fish too much on the big lake,
Mhm.
but I carp fish on there,
Okay.
right? And like then there's flats fishing. I mean, like there's areas on Lake Michigan where like it looks like you're in the Bahamas,
Okay.
right? So like for fly rod fishing, like definitely like the flats stuff would be like something really cool to check out, like
All for carp?
well, carp and like giant, like you get like your 7-8 pound smallmouth,
Oh, tight. Yeah.
giant catfish I've seen in there, drum, you got all your, and then there's like the same. I don't really fish for any like salmon or anything, like that out there. So like, yeah, Lake Michigan is definitely like, I mean, it's big. Have you seen Lake Michigan in person?
No, not in person. Yeah.
It's big. I mean, like, you always hear everybody talk about how big they
Oh, yeah.
are. I mean,
Yeah,
it's pretty big. I mean, like, you go our one carp spot, like the wind picks up in a certain direction, even like 3 miles an hour. I mean, you're getting like giant waves crashing down. Like you could surf
yeah.
out there.
There's a surfing Lake Michigan
Yeah.
Instagram account that I follow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. Lake Superior is probably the gnarliest of them, though.
Yeah, they're out there and they're like beards are fucking frozen. And
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, it's badass.
Yeah. So I've never surfed it. I've never tried, but I've seen guys out there. Like I'll be driving to work sometimes on like Lakeshore or whatever, and like you'll look out and you'll see some dudes out there. It's always cold out,
Yeah.
like when you're saying they're beards, it's always
Like icicles. Yeah.
yeah. It's always cold out when it's the best surfing, I'm pretty sure. And then so I fished like the tribs a lot too. The rivers like in Wisconsin, mostly Wisconsin actually.
Okay.
Like Michigan's cool, but I love me some Wisconsin. Cheese curds.
How far of a trek is that from where you're at?
It's not too. It's like an hour 45 to
Okay.
get to where I like to fish. I could go closer, like if I wanted to go to a certain river. It just gets crowded. It's the closest one to Illinois, so all of us like Illinoisians they call us.
I've never heard
We
that
go
term.
up, yeah. We're like people hate us up there, up in Wisconsin,
Oh,
the
no.
Illinois folks. But I try to make a good name for
Fucking out of towners coming in.
us out of town.
Yeah.
So I go up there, fish pretty much from like Halloween, after Halloween until I like April. Like I really don't really go out there too much for the spring stuff, just because it gets pretty intense, like combat fishing kind of stuff. I mean, like you get low hold, high hold. You get low hold and high hold at the same time, and they're just like stuck in one spot, right? And like it's a lot of float fishermen, so like they're not really moving, so like it kind of sucks. But I like to go out in the fall and the winter up there, so I'll do that. And then when springtime comes, man, I just fish like rivers and whatever for bass and carp, gar, buffalo. You guys have buffalo?
No, I don't think so. You guys are spoiled out there. You got all kinds of shit. That's
Buffalo
cool.
they're sweet, man. If you ever like so they could live up to like 100 years old.
Okay. Yeah.
Like they're like something with them that they could live over 100. I'm pretty sure the oldest one's like over 100 years old. So it's pretty cool fishing for a fish. I'm like, this thing's like could be older than me, right?
Yeah, that's
like,
cool.
right? And they eat like a swung crayfish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a ton of them. They're pretty like populated out here, but so
Well, this might be a dumb question, but I ask at least one every
nothing's
episode.
a dumb question.
Do people catch steelhead in the lake, or is it just in the tributaries?
Oh yeah, in the lake. They got like the guys that like troll.
Oh yeah, and they'll get
Trolls.
steelhead trolling.
I think they do. I don't know if they're like targeting them.
Okay, maybe
But,
bycatch
like,
or something. Yeah.
I think they're just like really like just trolling around for kings. We got king salmon.
Because
And
you don't hear about people catching steelhead in the ocean out here. I mean, even bycatch is pretty rare, from what I understand. I saw one YouTube video long ago of a gear fisherman pulling a steelhead out of the surf in Santa Cruz, which was like unheard of. And really, so that's why I was curious if people, because they're going back to the lake just like they would go back to the ocean here, and
yeah,
you know, I didn't
guys
know what
catch
was
them on the
happening.
lakefront and stuff. Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yep. Ice fishing too. So like the harbors freeze up in the winter,
uh-huh.
and guys will go out on the harbor, man, ice fish them, and like
No shit.
pull out some good lot of fish. I mean, I've seen a lot of them, a lot caught this year.
You ice fish? Yeah.
No, not really. Like I've done it. I just
It looks like it might be fun. I mean, I've never
it's
done it.
no,
So,
it's fun,
yeah.
man. You just hang out with a buddy and you just
Yeah.
kick it in a tent and whatever.
Dude,
Like,
some of their setups are fucking out of control too, where they got like basically a TV that's showing you
oh
everything
yeah,
going on down. It's not just like a fish finder, it's showing you like
yep,
full color
the
video.
live scope or whatever.
And then you got the dudes that are like spearing them through the ice too. Do you guys do that out there?
No, that's more of like
Okay.
Minnesota and Wisconsin thing. So like I think they
Looks
just
fun.
had
I don't know.
they had their sturgeon spearing season,
Oh, yeah.
and that thing is like. So at first I heard of it, I was like, oh, that's pretty like weird, right? Like
It sounds
like,
weird,
where they're
sure.
just letting guys go spear sturgeon all day, but
With
no,
like a pitchfork.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, but this thing is super regulated. Like the season,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think this year was over in like 15 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Why,
it's like
how is that possible? What do you
they
mean?
just because the number of like they got their quota of fish that
Okay.
only were allowed to get because I think it's only like a certain lake or whatever,
I
like
watched some show. Was it on Meat Eater or something, maybe?
where they was a dark house spearing they were doing.
I
Was
don't
it
know.
called?
They went, I can't remember if it was Meat Eater. I might be remembering wrong, but there was there was something I watched where they were in tents. They were in tents on the ice and they had like a big rectangular hole they had cut
Yeah,
in the
yep.
ice. And they
And
were
they
just
dropped the
standing there
decoy.
waiting for a fuck, yeah, dropping decoys, big
Yep,
decoy, all kinds
yep,
of wacky shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Those decoys are cool, man. I was like, I want to buy one. There's one guy I follow on Instagram, but he has like yeah, I've seen like some really nice like artwork kind of to him, right? Like
Love it.
people buy them just to like display them in their house. So like
I'm
one was
down.
a carp. It was like a golden
Yeah.
carp, man. I was like, oh, that thing's sweet. So I asked him about it, and he
Yeah.
said he doesn't do like custom orders or whatever. So I was like, maybe I'll see one pop up.
So what are the major tributaries that you fish? Like which ones are you usually
So
fishing?
I fish like the Milwaukee, the Sheboygan, which is a cool river, but it's definitely like it's not much public water on there. It's a lot of private. So like the toilets Kohler.
Mhm.
So there's a town out in Wisconsin called Kohler,
Okay.
Wisconsin,
Yeah, yeah.
and they
Mhm.
they own the river. Like they own the bank. Like you can float it, but as soon as your feet touch land, you're trespassing. So there's that one. It's all right. I'll go up there every once in a while, and then I'll go to the St. Joe River in Michigan. That one is like it's a big, big river, really hard to wade, real weird currents, and like not a lot of fish in there. So it doesn't freeze though. So I go fish it when everything else freezes up.
Okay.
It's good to get out there and just hang out. I was out there last week, but I was like just tortured myself for a little bit and fished like a Scandi line and traditional, which isn't really a thing out here. Not many guys do it, I don't think, at least. So like,
Well, I was going to ask you what setups you fish because I saw you throwing a trout spay on
yeah,
Instagram for what smallies or something, right?
yeah. So
That looked like what was that like a three-weight and you had the OPSD commando on there? Yeah.
yeah, so that's actually the OPST three-way. It's a nine
Oh,
foot nine.
it's their rod. I've
Yeah,
seen those. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Actually, the OPST rods are like they're smooth. They're a nice ride. They're like
It's 9'9", you said?
9 foot nine three-way. So their
Short, yeah.
rods are like shorter.
That's cool.
So like they're 8 weight, which I fish on pretty much everything.
An
is
8-weight?
is 11'6".
Okay, yeah, that's kind of short
And
still.
it's like it's like I got a Sage 8130 8 weight 13 footer, and I mean like they're both 8 weights, but like OPST is like more true to like they're lighter, like almost like I don't know how to say it. You know, I don't want to be saying anything wrong either.
Well, I'm
Like,
sure they're set up for their heads, right? And their heads are typically a little shorter than the rest of
yeah,
us, right? So,
yeah, it's like more of a true like eight, like I don't know, like fishing single handers, and you go like you're like oh this is an 8-way. This thing's like a freaking baseball bat, like it's just it's different. And then the OPST ride is they got a little more of like I don't know, you just feel more right, like
are
definitely a
you
little more
are you
sensitive.
always throwing a Skagit on all the stuff? I heard you mention Scandy for something. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do have a Scandi, and I don't really fish it that much ever, except I tried it on the Joe, and like it's just
It's a lot
out here.
different.
Not yeah, it's a little different. It's fun though, I started with Skagit, so I'm definitely more comfortable with Skagit casting than I am.
It's more forgiving, yeah.
Yeah, and like, but it's something I definitely want to learn. Like it's definitely a summertime thing for me though. Like fishing for, like I might get freaking crucified for saying this, but like I want to fish like a general practitioner on that for like smallmouth.
Yeah, why not, man? Like it sounds good to me.
But like, yeah, I mean, it's what I got, right? I'll take it.
I have a 4-weight trout spey. I want to say it's 11 foot,
Yeah.
and it's a Echo. It's an Echo TR, and I've been teaching my daughter I'll teach her to spey cast, and it's perfect for her. It's like a regular 7, 6, 7 weight, 13 foot for me.
Yeah,
It's like
okay.
perfect size for her.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
she's
right.
starting to get the hang of it. I haven't been able to get her out more than a couple times so far, but it's my goal. Trying to create a fishing buddy here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go. Those are hard to come by.
Yep.
So then, like, do you fish for? I guess you're interviewing me, but like, what else do you fish
ask
for
away,
besides? What else do you
please.
fish for besides like steelhead out there and trout?
I am trying to. I don't do it on my own much, but I'll go out with guides for striper. And another buddy of mine named Ken will take me out. Will take me out on the like near Richmond for striper in the saltwater.
Okay, that's sweet.
That kind of stuff. We have a big striper run here locally that I just don't have a boat, so I don't really have access to the same water as the other folks do. Although they do come up the American River and people catch them during the shad run in the summer. They come chase the shad.
Oh, you guys have the
into
shad.
river.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I've heard about the shad stuff on like the East Coast, like the Delaware River. Joe Cermelli is like he talks about it all the time. So
I love
like,
shad, man. It's so fun.
yeah, I've never done the shad run, but like what I've seen, it looks super fun.
On a trout spey rod, dude, like bonkers.
Oh, I
Super
bet.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like that's probably a blast.
And I live on, like I said, I keep mentioning I live on the American River, right? It's like a 5-minute drive from my house, and so there's not a whole bunch of fish in the river. At least the anadromous fish that I like to target, right, and swim for. But there right by my house is an area that they've kind of cordoned off into like its own kind of like miniature lake pond area, and there's a bunch of bass, largemouth bass in there, and some smallies in there, and some panfish and stuff like that. And I have a kayak, and I've never gone out poking around for that. That's my goal, though. As soon as the weather turns a little bit here and starts to get warmer, is I'm going to put way more time into that this year than swinging for steelhead on my river, because I have very little luck here. And it's fun. It's
nice
fun.
I like fish every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I love casting and trying, and when I do get them, it's sweet. But for being so close to the river and not taking advantage of the bassin that I got like right here, like I feel like I've been missing out. So that's been a goal for me. That's why I've been tying some clousers too, so I can get out there and get ready to target some other stuff.
Started fishing off of a paddleboard this past summer,
dude,
and like
I got one of those too. I think I'm going to try that out.
It's a blast, man. Carp on a paddleboard is
you sneak right up on those fuckers.
Super fun. Yeah, super fun, man. I was just crushing them last year out. And we had the cicada hatch last year.
Okay. Big old beetle looking things, yeah.
Oh yeah. So like out by me, we had the double hatch, I guess. So it was
I heard about that, yeah.
Like a 17 and 13-year like overlapped or whatever.
Coinciding at the same time, right? Yeah.
Oh, it was insane. It was madness. I mean, like the trees were filled with bugs.
Fucking gross.
And they were very like, it was weird how like spotty they were though. Like they'd be here, but they wouldn't be there. They'd be 10 minutes down the road. And like out by me, the bass never keyed in, but the carp.
Oh yeah,
Holy
carp are
dude,
gobbling them up. Yeah,
dude. I mean, like I was with my wife. We went to
they don't care. They eat fucking hot dogs and shit,
yeah,
right?
we went
Yeah.
to dinner, and then I brought my fly rod with me, you know, and I was like gonna try to get her to catch one, but I was like, hey, you see those fish over there? Like they're eating, you know, I was like, do you want to go try to catch a carp? And she's like, no. And I was like, oh, all right, well, check this out at
I
least.
do, yeah.
So I grabbed a handful of bugs though, and I walked up to the water and I just chucked them in the water, and like within 10 seconds, fish were just coming up, sucking them down. They were, dude, it was a blast, man. It was like 100 fish in it lasted like 3 weeks. And like, we just whooped them.
Oh, yeah.
We put a beat down on them.
So you have any cicada patterns that you tie? Like, what do you got?
You know what? So like, I wonder if I got one close to me. So
I've seen them. Like, I've seen somebody tie some like fucking hyper realistic looking ones.
yeah, you know what? Like, I didn't do any of that. I'm like, you know, I bought some a few years ago. Like, so I mistaken myself and thought the hatch was coming like a few years earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my one buddy got all stoked. We're like, oh, we gotta buy cicadas, you know. And then like it ended up not happening that year. I was like, all right, well, I'll put them on the shelf for like 4 years and just wait, right? So I waited, and then it happened, and I was fishing them, and then like the way those carp, man, eat a fly, like a topwater fly, and fight, like they were just wrecking flies.
Yeah.
Like they would just pull all the foam off. It would just be a hook, and you're like, all right, you know. So like I went through my
sucked it right off, man.
I went through my batch pretty quick, so I was like, all right, I gotta just tie some myself. And I wasn't gonna do no crazy like realistic thing. So like,
yeah,
dude, black round foam cut and some marabou, dude, some flash, crushed them. I mean, they
just got a Nerf dart into thirds and just
pretty much,
throw
yeah,
it.
yep, pretty much, man. I like, yeah, and they hammer them. This is actually a great like little like smallmouth little popper too. Yeah. My buddy Dave showed me this one as well. I've never bought a boogle bug since.
It's almost like a booby fly. You seen those?
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah. And the boogle bugs aren't cheap anymore, man. I don't know if you guys have those out there, but you know.
I've fucking heard boogle.
You never heard of a boogle bug?
I like it.
It's like a wood popper. I think like a balsa wood popper, maybe. Yeah. But like, man, they went from when I started, like it was like maybe $3 a pop. Like they're like $10 a piece now, you know.
Everything.
And I'm like, no way, right? And they get ruined just as quick as any fly. So it's not really like, to me, not worth it. I'll just my foam pop. And I think the foam ones fish better because the boogles have like a cupped face.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're pulling it out of the water, it creates like a lot of drag, and like that initial like pulling your fly off the water is just like, it's so loud, and it's just like if it's not easy. It doesn't feel, you know, it's not fun, I guess I should say. But like, yeah, you know.
So we have to chat at least briefly on the steelhead subject, since I'm on the West Coast and you're in the middle of the country where people
let's run it.
where people don't what they get mad when they call them steelhead out there. So I know it's a touchy subject for so many people. Why do you think it's such a big deal? I mean, it seems pretty straightforward to me. Like that, they're the genes are steelhead, right? But their life cycle is different. They go back to a lake, not an ocean, which is a lot different. Even though the Great Lakes are huge and almost like an ocean, but
people do get really worked up about it.
They get real mad. Yeah,
I don't, but I also like my fish aren't really like threatened. Right, like we can keep 5 day out here. I mean, it's like, so I get it though. I totally get it. Like maybe like people don't understand that like we do have some natural reproduction and stuff like that in rivers and everything, but like like people just maybe the guys out west don't like that. Like people are just like, oh, we have a shitload of steelhead in Ohio, in Indiana.
We're kind of we're just kind of jealous deep down.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that. I mean, I see what you guys get to fish, and I'm jealous of that. But I call them steelhead to my friends out here, and then I'll call them lake run bows or whatever. Like to people that I don't know, like just get pissed off about it. I just say if it eats a swung fly and it fights hard, and like it's hard
that's the
to
spirit.
catch.
Yeah.
It's like it's cool with me. But I get it though. I get like the whole like how those fish are like they're not like hatch. I mean, there's hatcheries and stuff I know, but like they're not like
We have a hatchery on my river. You know what I mean?
native.
There's a ton of that stuff out here on the West Coast. So
Yeah, there's a lot. You guys keep your hatchery fish though, right?
it's encouraged, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I don't really have like a hard opinion on this, man. Like I wish I had. I wish there was some hard take I had on this,
Yeah,
but
like,
I don't. Like I'm down that there's steelhead or something, whatever you want to call them, in the middle of the country that don't have to get there from the ocean and go through that gauntlet that they go through here. Whatever it is, that's cool.
Yeah. And like,
Mm-hmm.
also too, like, if they never were here, like I wouldn't be here.
That's why that's why they get mad, right? Because that gauntlet that they have to run from
Oh
the
yeah.
ocean to where they get to, I guess maybe that makes them
Yeah, I
a
know they're definitely
little
like,
bit cooler.
I've never fished for them either, not yet at least, like one day, like I'm waiting for Chris. Me and Chris are gonna make a trip out west sometime, but
Please
like
do. Yeah.
I could just imagine. I mean, I could imagine that they are definitely like
I've never
a little
I've never
more,
caught one out there, so I don't have any frame of reference. Yeah.
just like it's like I don't know. I feel like they're definitely like they travel farther. Like they're dodging. I mean, we have like predator fish, but like not like sharks and seals
Yeah,
and
right. Yeah.
like I mean I've heard like fish make it to like rush, they make it all all over the place, right? Like they don't really have that.
There was a sea lion right up the river from me this last weekend.
Yeah, we have snaggers. We don't have sea lions. We have guys snag now.
You can't punch a sea lion,
No, you can't. No. But yeah, so like I just whatever, right? Like I take what I could get.
Yeah.
I love fishing for them. Even after I make it out west, I'm sure like it'll ruin me a little bit. But
do people say they don't fight as hard out there? Is that a thing?
I mean, I've heard that, but then I've heard other people like, but I don't know. This is all like internet warriors on Facebook arguing on like the Steelhead Manifesto page or some shit, right? Like, so
Yeah.
like, I just kind of there's a few like I get it though. I would imagine they probably would fight harder, but I mean I've seen some pretty hot fish. Like my buddy Dave, he's a great steelheader, freaking legend or whatever. He he hooked the fish.
He's on the OP, yeah.
Yeah. He hooked the fish on Milwaukee one day, and that thing freaking took him way downriver, man. Like he had to go chase that thing down.
Yeah.
It was across river, then back across the other side, and like just boom down.
I mean, I'm sitting here talking positively about spearing fish with a pitchfork, man. I mean, I'm all for whatever's ethical and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like everybody having a good time fishing as long as they're not snagging and doing all that nonsense, So like that kind of argument is I think kind of dumb, to be honest. Like it's just people that want to argue, which is cool too. If that's what you do, if that's what you enjoy, then keep doing it, man.
Yeah, there's always people
whatever.
that like, argue, right? But like I mean, besides that, our brown trout are pretty fun to
That's
I mean,
cool.
like, they're big, like pretty damn big, and they're willing. They're very willing to eat a swung fly, man. Like, I mean, for me, like, even though, like, like you see, like, the Great Lakes, whatever, we have a ton of, like, since I only swing flies, like, I've only caught, like, 11 of them, right? Like, it's still, like, I haven't caught, like, a shitload of fish or nothing, steelhead, but browns, I beat them up, man. They just do.
Hell yeah.
They're freaking pretty fun to fish for. Like they don't fight super hard. They thrash a shitload and they just bulldog the hell out of you. But like they pull the rod out of your hand on like a real hard slam. It's pretty cool. Like my buddy got one. It was like 36-inch brown.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah,
freaking was like type on it. I'll send you a picture.
That's
after.
a monster.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was actually his first his first fish on the swing too.
Sweet.
Yeah, man. He had my buddy Derek, and like we started swinging at the same time, and then like he just got busy with life, and it was living fishing through me for a couple of years. So I was going out there getting fish or whatever, and then me and him went out fishing one day, and he stuck that brown, and that was like the biggest brown I've ever seen. And I was
That's
like,
right.
all right, dude, like you just won the year right there, like that was the biggest brown I've ever seen pulled out. It was massive.
So to wrap up the steelhead talk, and I love steelhead. It's my favorite fish. I'm obsessed. It's like all I want to do. It's all I want to do. And
Yeah.
I'm not talking trash on either West Coast or the middle of the country's steelhead, whatever you want to call them. I'm down for whatever. What would you say to convince a coastal steelhead angler that may never consider a trek out to the middle of the country to come fish out and try that?
Just new experiences, man. Like life's too short to just kind of like, even though it's beautiful, like it's like is it different for you when you're out in some like, have you ever been to Milwaukee? Probably not, right?
I have not. No.
It's different, right? Like there's like sirens all the time and shit, and like I mean,
what kind of sirens all the time? What do you mean?
There's a lot of fish. It's big browns. I don't know. There's a lot of browns out by you guys. I mean,
we got brown trout. Yeah, we got big suckers up on the truck.
Yeah, and just like I don't know, like Michigan's beautiful. Definitely, if you go to Michigan, like it's nice out. It's.
I've definitely seen pictures of Michigan that I was surprised to hear that it was Michigan.
Yeah,
it's like holy shit.
It's pretty out there. It's just something different, right? And I think you guys, I think would have a blast. If you're a good West Coast fisherman, I feel like you would come here and clean house.
I wouldn't say I'm good, but I think I would. I think I would hang. I'd be able to hang.
Oh yeah, no problem. I think you'd have a blast out there. And then it's just different, right?
Yeah, I like checking out new spots, man. And it sounds interesting to me. And I see giant fish. People getting giant fish out there. So
yeah,
that sounds fun.
Lake Michigan's got some monsters in there, but we have like bait fish populations very big, I believe. So those fish just like have a buffet, and then again, there's no like sea lions and sharks and shit. So like they just like they're not really. I don't think they're very afraid of anything.
So you've mentioned tons of different species, tons of different. Like you're swinging 3-weight to an 8-weight and like all everything in between. Like, is there maybe like 5 or so flies that you think an angler would need to have or would be good to have? I know you like farmer patterns, but like
out here,
what do you think people would need if they were going to go out and,
for like steelhead and browns?
Yeah,
number one, eat a peach leech.
Okay. Yeah,
that's like I don't know. I mean, I've caught a lot of fish on there.
I love a leech, man.
Dude, I love the eat a peach leech is my favorite. And then I tie a lot of tube flies too. I put like a receding hairline. If you've ever heard of the receding hairline,
is it a take on the bad hair day?
Yes, it's like a slim down bad hair day.
That's a good way to. That's a good name for it.
I got one right here actually. It's just like and it's just like simple flies, man. Like 2 clumps of craft fur on a tube with some flash, right? Like. Actually, I caught one of our wild, like our fisheries that actually have natural reproduction. I caught my first wild fish on this exact fly, nice. And like super tannic. Our water is very tannic, so it's like red almost in some rivers. It's cool.
Very different than out here.
I would say definitely the not sure for sure on that one, and backdoor slider. And then a carpet spider.
Yeah. Another one of Dave's pattern. Is that Dave's signature pattern? Is that one of his?
Yeah. I fish. I like since he pretty much showed me the ways. Like that was pretty like I have a whole freaking box of just craft fur flies, man. Like, but then even like is like the swing craw or smallmouth bass, dude. Like just destroys them. Like you just fish the shit out of that and pick up whatever drum, and bass and carp and buffalo. It's my warm water swing fly.
Do you prefer craft fur over, say, like a fin raccoon or Arctic fox or something? Or is it
Well,
just economical or what?
I mean, I think it's a little more economical in a way, unless you like get your hands on some like really good materials, right? Like I don't know, like some stuff you buy, like I don't want to like rip out any brands, but some stuff you buy is like shit, right?
Sure.
Like you buy it and it's just like
Get a
all
bag of feathers and you get like two of them in there.
exactly, right? So like I mean, if you're getting some stuff from like a good guy that's got some good fox, and like fox is awesome, but craft is cheap and it's pretty consistent because it's
Consistent,
fake.
yeah. Okay,
It's
yeah.
fake,
That's a totally good reason. I didn't even
right?
think of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty consistent. And then like there's a lot of it normally. Like if you go to your fly shop, you'll see a lot of craft fur. So you kind of take it out too, check it out, like and it's cheap. It's like $4, I think, I use the extra hairline extra select.
Nice, yeah.
That stuff right there, it's my favorite.
Nice. I don't use enough of it. I only have a couple colors,
Oh yeah, like Farmer uses a lot too on his like some wing, like the backdoor slider wings, craft fur wing.
Between that book and Thursday Night Flies, it's hurting my wallet, man. Like I'm fucking buying all kinds of shit that I would never buy just to participate in these challenges and then tie all those patterns,
Oh yeah. Yeah, so
it's good for the fly shops.
Yeah, so I've been actually like so like the shop I used to work for closed down. So like I was out of work for 2 months, which was kind of by choice because it was just like cold and I was like, it was kind of slow too. I'm a tradesman, so that's how that's how things go. But so I haven't really bought anything, and like now I'm back to work. I got a whole freaking shopping cart of shit I gotta, like stuff I want to buy. If anybody could get me any white turkey feathers, send them my way. I'd appreciate it.
Are these hard to find now?
White
going the way of
the
golden pheasant. It's like
for like Skagit mists and stuff. Yeah, yeah, golden pheasant too. I actually bought a whole golden pheasant skin off of Etsy.
Yeah, I got one not too long ago. What I assume or what I was told was one of the last few available.
Really?
Yeah.
I paid like $100 for mine too.
Me too. I told my wife that she'd just sell all my materials if I was to die, and she'd be set. So
yeah, I bought. My wife was like, I was like, can I buy this? What is it? A dead bird?
Yeah, my dog wants that golden pheasant real bad.
Oh yeah, so I got 4 cats. I got 4 cats and a dog. Yeah, I mean anything you can tell when it's good because it's got that smell, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
that smell. So I walked into a fly shop on the Salmon River in New York, which is also a really sweet river. I'm sure. Have you heard of the Salmon River in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just like it's legendary for its like just like combat fishing, snagging shit. But like if you get away from that and get into some water, like some really nice runs. But like walked into this fly shop called Melinda's. They had a whole tote of jungle cock to look through. I bought one cape, but like this place just smelled like a dead bird, right?
Yeah.
I walk in, I look at Chris, and I go, "Oh man, they got the good stuff in here, And yeah, they did. $300 later or whatever.
Farmer's Book made me buy some jungle cock. I finally bought a skin, and I'd only ever bought like a dozen of them at a time or something off.
Like the nails
eBay or something.
Whatever.
Yeah, I'll get them on Etsy or eBay, and I finally forked over for one after getting that book.
The skin's the way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you gotta have like it's more bang for your buck, to be honest. I'm sure you could pull you have a lot of feathers probably off of your cape, right? Yeah.
And the fish will respect us more, right?
I've only caught, I guess I should say, I've caught a few fish on jungle cock flies now. So yeah, it was definitely worth buying.
So, if you've heard my show at all, that I end with a specific question. I got to ask you, have you ever had a paranormal or supernatural experience?
Out on the water?
Oh, anything.
Or just anytime
in your life. Anything weird?
Well, not to me personally, but you want to hear something?
Yeah, I do.
Actually, so where I work at, right? So if you look it up, Archer Avenue, okay, it's like one of the most paranormal stretches of road in the country.
Really?
So, if you ever heard of Resurrection Cemetery or Resurrection Mary?
Archer Avenue, Chicago?
Yeah, yeah. So look up like there's like the look up paranormal stuff out and like so there's Resurrection Mary.
Okay.
And so
Oh yeah, there's Google's pulling up a bunch of shit already. Oh, Resurrection Mary,
so Resurrection Mary.
the hitchhiking ghost of Archer Avenue.
Yes. Yeah. So I could tell two stories about this. So
Okay.
Resurrection Mary was like a girl in prom or something, right? Went to some bar called Chet's Melody Lounge and like I think she got like hit by a car or something or accident.
There's a specific story here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then supposedly you could see her hitchhiking on the side of Archer Avenue at night, or whatever. And you gotta like pick, she's asking for a ride. So
This is like an ongoing, like
it's been a
urban
thing for,
myth or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, for a long time. And
Yeah.
then so where I work at, like they have these things called shutdowns, right? And like basically the whole plant shuts down and it's like work for whatever, 18 hours, 20 hours straight, right? Just like get it done. So it's a long day and you're usually driving home super late at night. So I take that road, it's like I like that road. So I'm always like, I'm gonna pick up Mary tonight,
Oh, you're that's what you're defiant in the face of the paranormal.
I'd pick her up, I'd give her a ride.
All right.
So
I like your style.
My dad also works with me. He's a sheet metal worker as well. And he, long time ago, I think this was in like the 90s or whatever, he was driving home from the bar with his buddy, early 90s after work. And he was like, I'm gonna go see if Mary's there. And he like walked up to the cemetery and he's like, come out,
like
Mary.
father, like son. Yeah.
Where are you at, Mary? And his buddy's crying in the car, and then they left. And then there's the glowing red orb over Maple Lake.
That's another.
It's another one. Yeah, there's multiples. Yeah. And then there's the headless monks, some like monk kind of, some like church thing. Yeah. You'd like it. Look.
All right, you're giving me a whole bunch of stuff to dig into, so I can write some weird stuff about this episode. That's awesome.
You come out, carp fish. We can see Resurrection Mary and a glowing orb over Maple Lake.
Let's do it. sounds like a plan, man. I'm game.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
Definitely.
Well, Ken, man, thank you so much for spending some time with me on the internet, dude.
Man, it was awesome. It's been great.
Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise,
dude. You tie up awesome stuff. I'm inspired by all the tires out there, and you're right up in there with everybody, man. Like,
oh man, wow, thank you.
So hopefully keep posting them and keep joining Thursday Night Flies and hanging out with all of us in there, and
definitely, yeah, man, it's a good time.
Cool. It's gonna be a minute till I get the episode done, but I'll keep in touch with you, and I'm gonna
likewise. Thanks for working with me on like the reschedule and shit too.
Of course, man, no problem at all. And I'll probably bug you about some content related stuff between now and when we're done. And also, let me get your address. I want to send you some stickers.
Oh, cool. So it's 1215 Elm Drive.
Yep.
New Lenox, Illinois.
Is it new and then Lennox?
Lenox.
Okay.
So it's new space Lenox.
Got it.
Illinois. Zip code 60451.
Ken Myers, right?
Yep, MY.
Cool.
I don't know if you spelled the ME.
Yeah, man. I will send you some stickers in the mail.
Awesome, dude. I got them up. I got a whole sticker thing going on in my. Here, I'll show you real quick.
Yeah.
My fly tying area.
Man, I don't have an area. I have a. Man, it's rad.
Yeah, so like I said, I got 4 cats. So like I got this roll top desk, dude.
Close it on up,
My dad garbage picked it out of like a rich neighborhood.
Dude, that's rad. That's rad.
Brought it over. I was like, perfect.
Hell yeah. I don't even have a place to put something like that. My setup is like a rolling set of drawers with that has a rectangle countertop on it, and I My vise is clamped on there, and it has a lamp on top with a
Oh,
magnifier.
it's like a traveling kit, traveling station.
I can roll it around anywhere in my house because like
That's
I don't have
cool.
anywhere to like I don't have enough room, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
wherever
The
I can
whole room.
find space, I'm cutting up stuff, and there's fucking feathers and fur all over the floor. I just put up, so,
I got Flash everywhere.
Yeah, my dog came up to the table begging for food the other day with Flashaboo hanging out of her mouth. Man.
What color?
It was gold.
Gold.
But anyhow, hey, have a good one, Ken. I will be in touch
you
with
too,
you.
man.
Thanks
Definitely.
again.
It was great, man.
Pleasure, dude. I suppose I owe Ken an apology for jamming up this episode with his name on it with a bunch of talk about weird animal dicks. But I am not going to say I'm sorry, because I'm not sorry. I told everyone this season was going to be the horniest season yet, in the very first episode.
Ever found yourself asking, why am I so horny lately? Well, you're not alone.
Ken is one of the few guests who knew what he was getting into as soon as he agreed to be on the show. I mean, he didn't know I was going to spend so much time on that specific topic, but he did know that I'm an idiot because he's already familiar with this show. And I'll call myself an idiot one more time because I forgot to thank this week's crew of generous supporters of the program until now. If you've been keeping up with Season 4 of Secret Society of Fly Tires, you know that I'm very graciously thanking every listener that donates money to the show by giving them a shout out during each new episode. This time I'm showcasing all of my Canadian fans that donated their loons, or whatever they call money up there, and it was just one person this time. But they donated the equivalent of 15,000 American dollars to me for all the hard work I do drafting pages and pages about animal genitalia. So, a really big thank you is in order to someone claiming to be the president of the Edmonton Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Stone Peters. I couldn't have done this without you, Stone. If you're feeling generous, you can find a couple ways to send me your money on my website, secretsocietyofFlyTires.com. You too will get a shout out on a future episode direct from me, your host. I've also somehow gone 2 episodes without filling you all in on how my interview with the Office of the Mayor's Penis went. I'll just tell you that it did not go well, and I'll give you that very important update next time. Anyhow, big thanks to Ken for spending an evening with me on the internet. It feels like a long time since we recorded that interview, which is true. I procrastinated on my podcast work real hard between Season 3 and this new one, but I'm stoked I finally got to share it with you all. I hope that life brings me out to his neck of the woods someday so I can look for carp with him and maybe catch one of those lake run rainbows or steelhead everyone loves to argue about. That's a perfect segue into the ending of the show where I recommend something that I enjoy to all of you listening. This one may not be too much of a secret. It's my favorite fly tyer, Jonathan Farmer's book, Chasing Chrome, which I mentioned earlier in this show. His pattern, the graboid leech, is why I love to fish leeches, and it's the first pattern of his that I learned to tie. He's the only person I've taken any sort of fly tying class with, and I've been lucky to have Jonathan on the program twice now. And there will be a third time, I hope, because I could honestly just interview him 12 times every season. I just checked on MidnightSunCustomFlies.com and can confirm that at the time I'm writing this, you can still get a copy of the first run of his book. Will there be a second run? Don't wait to find out. Go buy one from the man himself today at the website that I just mentioned. If you really need it, I will link to it in the show notes too. The book includes Jonathan's recipes, beautiful images of every stage of all of his most famous patterns, and it also does a great job of walking you through how to tie them yourself. He also includes alternate colorways that you could try out, and shares stories behind each pattern that might be about how he came up with the name, or a story of catching a great fish with a friend. There's even explanation on the tying materials that he frequently uses and why he uses them. He really covers all the bases. You might think that you have a grasp on tying his patterns from watching some of the videos that he posts about them, or by subscribing to his Instagram account, but this book takes it to a whole new level of detail. I find myself geeking out on certain patterns like the Beast of Burden, or the Not Sure, or the Modern Acroyd for a while, and then I move on to another pattern that I may not have had much interest in before, and I end up loving every single one of them. Seriously, every pattern that he showcases in the book is awesome, and if you buy Chasing Chrome, tie his patterns, and throw them in the water where fish might be, the fish will see your new flies and have way more respect for you than they do right now. That respect forces them to eat the fake food that you offer them, whether they're hungry or not. And then you fight and land that fish and smooch them and watch them swim off back to their family in the river, and everything is right in the world. Buy the book. I'll see you next week.
Lunch meat sucks. I'm sick of turkey. I'm sick of hams. I'm sick of roast beefs. I want a thinly sliced, succulent luncheon meat that will delight and surprise my taste buds. I want sheets of animal flesh that slide down my gullet and into my guts with ease and grace. Thankfully, my prayers have been answered thanks to the meat chefs at Vital Elements. Did you hear what I just said? I said that my prayers have been answered. This is the sort of stuff that I pray for. I pray for new meat, and my God, who is very different from the God that you idiots pray to, actually listens to and answers my prayers. We talk all the time. He tells me to do things, sometimes good things and sometimes bad things, and I do them, and in return, he gives me things like new meat. Anyway, Vital Elements is proud to introduce its newest and most delicious product, crow meat. What was the other commercial I did for bird meat? Sliders, songbird sliders? Those are good, but this is better. I love making lunch meat style sandwiches using Vital Elements Crow Deli lunch meat. It's paper thin and they don't waste a thing. It's not like turkey breast that they just sliced up. It's more like bologna, where they take the entire bird and mash it up and form it into a paste and cook it into a tube and then slice it, I think. I don't know. I don't know how everything works. I just know that this crow meat still has gizzards and beaks and talons in it, and that's what makes it good. That's what gives it its gritty, wholesome texture. I feel stronger than ever, and it's thanks to my God and Vital Elements in crow meat deli style luncheon meat pre-sliced lunch meat slice packs.
Please note that this is not a real advertisement, and the company, brand, entity, or product mentioned in the preceding ad in no way endorses, agrees with, or knows about this podcast.